Welcome to Boomerang CD launch party for our new CD, Echoland. This is Sarah, Kate, and I'm Dave. We really appreciate you joining us on this strange virtual concert experience. I'm going to start with a song called Song of Books, and then we're going to play some tracks from our record. It's interactive, the whole thing, so if you want to send us a text, tell us where you're listening from, or ask us a question, however unreasonable, it's fine. We'll answer it. and don't forget, this is also a fundraiser for Project PAL. Project PAL, which is an organization that serves the people with mental health issues in the city of Montreal. It's a great cause, and it's a great donation during these difficult times. So here we go. Feel free to let us know.
thank you.
All
Oh,
around the
wow.
world.
Lots of people watching in. Any specific questions in the chat yet? No? Okay. Well, if you have anything that you've been dying to know about us, now is your chance. We will continue on with an English folk song that was our first single that we released a month or two ago. It's called Perry Mary, and I found it in a collection of old English folk songs, and we scoured them and picked out some that struck our interest and didn't seem to be overplayed and very well known, so we are bringing the old stuff back again. So this is Perry Mary, and we follow it with two Appalachian tunes that I learned when I was attending a summer fiddle camp in Boston a few years ago.
What are they called, Kate?
Cumberland Gap and Washington's March. Gotcha. I actually know the
names. Are there any more questions? Okay, great. Let's go.
All right. This is Perry Mary.
Covered by... This is our version of a Wiggles tune, apparently.
Centum perimeridictum, perimeridictum nomini. Thank you.
Thank you.
Normand was wondering if you guys have played the Hawktail in the past.
The
Hawk
Hawktail. Where's that?
Or is that a tune?
Well, we haven't played it since we don't know where it is, unless.
Is it
Unless it's a tune or
Is it a tune or is it a place?
a venue. We're not
We played
sure.
with Hawktail.
With
With
Hawktail.
No.
Heather wants to know when your next concert is.
Our next concert is actually going to be in Morin Heights, which is where I now live, at Mickey's Cafe, and I've got to check the exact date, but it's the last Sunday of June. I think it's June 29th or 30th. But that will be our next. It's an outdoor concert, and I believe it might actually be free. So if you're in Morin Heights or just feel like having a beautiful day in the country, you can come hear us in the afternoon too.
Yeah. Just stay 2 meters away.
And Miles was wondering if you guys have a translation for Peri Meri Dictum Domini, if you know the translation.
Hi, Miles. No, they're kind of just nonsense words. It was fairly common. It is fairly common for a lot of folk songs to have just nonsense words or syllables as a repetitive chorus. So these little Latin beauties are the ones that have survived.
So yeah, we'll continue on with a song called "Single Girl," which is from the album. But I just want to take a second to introduce the album since we haven't even really
Yeah, we didn't
talked about it. So it's called Echoland, and it's out tomorrow. Well, tonight as of midnight. So you can get it. You can follow the links in the video description to buy it now, and you will have access to it. It will arrive either digitally in whatever format you've requested tomorrow morning, tonight, or we'll send it in the mail. It's on Fallen Tree Records, and it's our first full length album, and it took I don't even know
So
how
many
long
Years.
to make.
4 years, I think.
Yeah, and it's a little bit. I'm happy that we're doing this here. This is not a traditional record launch. It feels more like a kitchen party, which is maybe kind of appropriate for this band. I don't know if I could do this with anybody else, but it's a little bit intense to have so many years going through what turns out to be a kitchen party. So
Yeah, it's true.
I do hope that you guys will check out the album or come see us at a show. Even better than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we spent a long time making the album and had a series of catastrophes to start with. We really started on every possible wrong foot, so it's partly why it took so long. But we ended up. I don't know if you had a comment that Hudson, or maybe it was Vaudreuil Dorion. It might be Vid, our amazing producer engineer, who really he came and saved this record. So if Vid's out there,
Yeah,
we really need to send him some love for that.
That's
and
good.
yeah, I don't know what else we need to say about that. Maybe nothing.
Maybe not.
Let's just play some music. The next song is it's called "The Single Girl," and it's just basically a song about
It's a cheery little number.
lamenting over women's lib, let's say. Look at it that way.
If anybody feels free to interpret the lyrics and send us your comments, that would be kind of could become very handy for us in future shows.
Yeah. Same with Peri Meri. You can make your own translation, and if we like it, we'll sing it. What key is it in? Should probably play in the right key, right?
Sarah has the most complicated instrument of any of us.
All those
And you
pesky
know-
levers.
It's
know what?
levers and it's oh my god,
Yeah.
it's a tuning nightmare.
It's a complicated instrument, but I also tend to make it more complicated than I need to. You know, it's like I think you have to be somewhat of a masochist to play this thing. keep your eye upon the sparrow that flits from tree to tree, and you'll never wish you were a single girl like me. You'll never wish you were a single girl. Don't I wish I was a single girl again? Good Lord, I wish I was a single girl again. Wish I was a single girl again. Good Lord, I wish I was a single girl again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci.
And with a very similar last name to you, Kate, is watching from PPI. Joining from Nova Scotia, and people are saying beautifully done.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mom.
We'd like to thank our technical crew here. We have Tim Crabtree on video and all things organizational. We
Saving
have
our
Henry,
lives.
Henry Rice taking your comments, feeding them to us. Big round of applause.
I realize that we should also, we never get, normally when you do a record launch where it's just like a regular live show, which, I mean, it sounds regular, but it seems pretty irregular and fantastic to me right now.
Yeah.
You rarely get the time that you need to actually thank everybody who's been involved. So
Yeah.
I actually just want to thank, on that last song, we had Leif Vollebeck playing Moogs and guitar on the album.
Thank you, Lee.
And that one was hilarious. I told him at one point, that song in particular, we had to retrack the whole thing. We had it almost done, and because of, again, all of our technical disasters, we had to scrap almost the entire thing, except Leif had come into the studio and he played like a one-note drone on the Moog for the entire song. And we ended up retracking the whole song and only keeping the Moog. So we tracked that whole song, the new version, to the Moog. And when I told him that, he almost cried. He thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. The idea of scrapping an entire track and
Except for a
retracking
Moog
to
drum.
a Moog drum. But we had Leif join us for a couple of tracks, or just one track, but he multitasked on it. And then we had the incredible Kevin Lang, Montreal's John Bonham, joined us for Jock Brown's 70th birthday party. And also that first set that we played with Mullingar Lee and Laurel Tree. Yeah, Kevin Lang played on that one. But he really, I mean, I don't think we're going to perform a live version. We're a little bit under the gun here today. We'd love to play longer than we will. We're not finished. We're gonna finish at some point, and it's gonna be sooner than we would want to, because we still have the curfew here in Montreal, so we all have to get home on time, and maybe you do too. But we'll play at the end of the show. We're gonna play that track, and Kevin Lang. I first heard that track in the pub in PEI, actually in Charlottetown. That's where we lifted it from, and as soon as I heard it, I just thought of Kevin right away on the drums. So we made the whole arrangement basically to suit the drum part, and he came in and just blew it out of the water. It was unbelievable.
It's about the least traditional thing you're going to hear on the record.
Yeah.
Don't forget Ivan.
And Ivan Bamford, on the track that we'll play, the final track we're going to play is going to be Weasel, and Ivan Bamford joined us for percussion on that one, as well as a song that Dave wrote, the first song that this group ever played together, called The Road to Shigawak.
Yeah,
Ivan's on that one too. And The Road to Shigawak is actually, that's a nice segue for a lot of things. The Road to Shigawak, it was our first gig. We had a gig at the Shigawak Festival. I think it was the first time Henry played in Shigawak as well.
Yeah.
And it's kind of ironic now that it's titled The Road to Shigawak, because unfortunately at that festival, all of the musicians somehow mysteriously came down with a gastro and and ended up the poor highway bathroom attendants
Yes.
on the way on the road from Shigawak. I don't even know how many
Well,
people.
we're familiar with every rest stop from here to Gaspé.
Yeah, the road from Shigawak was
Much more memorable.
much more memorable for basically everybody in Montreal. So that was incredible. But the road to Shigawak is also actually the track that we played on the Project PAL
that's right, that's
CD.
right.
Yeah, Project PAL. That's a. I don't remember how we first met Angela Murphy, who's joining us. Angela Murphy and France Paré, who's on the board of directors for Project PAL, are going to be joining us, and they'll speak in a minute. But I just wanted to introduce our history with them a little bit. I can't remember how we first met Angela, but it was at the time where Project PAL was they have a wonderful choir. She'll explain more to you about what the community does, but they have a really wonderful choir, and they decided to put together a CD of musical arrangements with their choir, and also of Montreal musicians taking part. And we went into the studio in there. They set up a makeshift studio in their center in Verdun, and Boomerang went in there, and we played The Road to Shigawak for the Project PAL CD, which is available on their website. So please check that out. So yeah, I'd like to introduce to you now to Angela Murphy, the director of Project PAL, who will just tell you a little bit about what they do.
Hello.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Sarah, Dave, Kate. Thank you so much for this. It's really a privilege to be here and great to collaborate with you again. The music's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
So, what can I tell you about Project PAL? We're an organization that's been running in Verdun for 46 years. We're an alternative mental health organization. And when we use the word alternative, basically it means that we work with a completely non-diagnostic approach. So anybody who walks through our doors, we see them first just as a person. They have a doctor, they have a treatment team often, they have people who look after diagnosis. We don't do that. Our aim is to try and get that person to their best possible future, whatever that may be. We work in housing, we try to provide sustainable, affordable housing. We do community meals. We have a big love of music, a choir, as you mentioned, that we're very proud of and very missing since COVID, like all the choirs all over the world, I think. And we also have services in collective action where when we see people with mental health problems whose rights aren't being respected, or there's a problem on a larger collective scale, we join with other community groups and we mobilize our members to take action, to mobilize in whatever way is needed at that moment. We run with the idea that someone's potential can be reached and everybody's potential is different. And a really good example of that would be in our community kitchen. Some people run that kitchen, they cook the meals, they plan the menus. Other people may come in and cut a carrot. But the difference is they all showed up. And living with a mental health problem is often living a life of isolation, living a life of loneliness, of poverty. They often go together. And strangely enough, I've heard a few members say during this pandemic that we're all living this now. Everybody lives what we live all the time. Like we can't go to restaurants, we don't go to movies, we often don't have connection with family, we can't afford to do certain things. And it's a reminder when we talk, I think, about the pandemic and mental health that these situations of isolation for some people are not going to go away. After this, they're still there. But we have a lot of joy at PAL. We have a lot of fun. Our community center is very lively. Our housing resources involve people. We always keep members completely integral to everything we do. And I think the best example of this is France. France is the president of our board. She works in the therapeutic measures program at PAL. She's involved all over the place. She came through the door of PAL in a very different way. And she now speaks for PAL publicly for Centraide. She goes into different organizations and represents us. And I think speaks about PAL much more eloquently and touchingly than I do. So I'll pass over to France. And you can tell your story.
Thank you. Be patient. My English is not so good, so I'll do my best.
Merci.
The first time I heard about PAL was at the Douglas Hospital. I was sick, very sad and sick, and no place to go. So I phoned at PAL and passed my interview, and I was accepted. I was very happy. I was so sad. I didn't like life. And day by day, with the intervenant, I learned to love life bit by bit. And after that, I was introduced to the drop-in center at PAL. And I was so scared when I came first there, but I did, and it was a good thing. I was implicated in a lot of things at PAL. I do the kitchen. I did the democratic life and the members' assembly, and my life changed. I was happy. It's a miracle, and I say thank you to all the people who works at PAL, and the people who help me to live better. I stay at the housing 6 months, and after that, I went to an apartment with another girl. Now I live by myself, and I'm very happy. I have a good life, and PAL saved my life. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, France.
Merci, France.
Maybe just one thing I would like to add at PAL is that there's many different ways to call people who belong to an organization. And what I hear a lot are clients. And we don't call the people at PAL clients because we're not selling them anything and they're not buying anything. We don't call them users because they don't use us. What we ask is they become members because they join a community and they're members of that community. And France is the president of our board of directors. And she came right through and went through all the steps, and she represents us and works really hard as a board member. And we're a large organization with a large budget and many housing resources, and France helps to lead us. And it just is possible if people are given a chance to find their way and to empower themselves. And with that empowerment takes the help of other people. So thank you to Boomerang for giving us a chance to talk about this.
Thanks, Angela.
Yes.
And thanks, France. I wondered also, I've been thinking about Project PAL a lot this year because of the pandemic. Of course, the people who are the most vulnerable are also the most quickly and the most deeply affected. And I was wondering if you could speak to how the year has been for Project PAL and its members.
Well, it's been a lonely year, and I've spent 20 years telling people that the most important thing is that they come out of isolation and join the community and stay close. And then all of a sudden I'm saying you have to go back into isolation. You can't be in your community. and it's been really, really hard for them. We try to offer some activities on Zoom, but we're working with people that don't have internet, that can't afford internet. So it's been really tough. And luckily enough, many of our members are in PAL housing, so we have services. But I think you just need to take a walk around this city and to see the increase in homelessness and who's on the street. And very often, who's on the street are people that are struggling with their mental health challenges because shelters are too hard. They're a difficult place for someone who perhaps is hearing voices, who's dealing with many different issues. And as we said a little bit before before you started, Sarah, you were mentioning about the tent city. It's not a perfect community, but it is a community.
Yeah.
Perfect, but it's something. It's not someone being in isolation. So there's a reason these places pop up, and that this pandemic has showed everybody how unequal things are. It's not equal, and a community like Project PAL has been advocating about that and speaking about that for a long time. And let's hope maybe we'll be a kinder, gentler place after.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm hoping that right now it's a moment where people can empathize and relate a little bit more to what some of the members of Project PAL might be struggling with, because we're all faced with isolation, but we're also, even amongst the general population, I think we're coming to a real housing crisis, certainly in Montreal, across the province, across the world, in fact. Displacement is an increasing problem, and I think here in Quebec, at least, as far as I can tell, it's not really been substantially addressed yet and dealt with, and I do just want to draw attention to that, as you mentioned that it is a community, and of course a tent city here or anywhere else is not a great solution, but I do hope that there's an understanding that there's everybody needs to be part of a community, and maybe people are a little bit more sensitive to that now that we've all been sort of displaced from our communities, even if we have a very comfortable place to live, that access to community is deeply, deeply important to all of us. And so, yeah, we're really happy to have PAL here with us today. We wanted to sort of send some love your way, because you're an organization that I know that's kind of the main focus of Project PAL is actually reinforcing that community and getting people involved with each other and actively involved with each other in a way that's beneficial, not just kind of Band-Aid solutions. So.
Yeah, and it's possible. People can get better, and they certainly get better with a roof over their head and with friends, just like all of us. And I'm so proud of France that people have the courage to come on and speak about her story. I think it's incredible that she does this, and I just am amazed at what she's been able to do in these past few years. And thank you to you, Boomerang, and thank you for the wonderful music.
Thanks, Angela.
Yes, it was wonderful.
Merci, France. So we're going to play
that's great.
one more song.
One more song.
Oh. Why don't you tell her the song, Dave?
Questions?
Was it? Okay, this is a song called The Weasel. It's an upbeat number. I don't know what to say about it. I never really know what to say about this song. It's just
You wrote it?
yeah, I wrote it. Yeah. It's an odd meter, and it I don't know what style you would say. Maybe you could tell us in your comments what style you think this is. Sort of a lot of Celtic players were looking for different venues to express some kind of Celtic venues musically. So there was a lot of Andy Irvine, I think, put out a East Wind record that was all Balkan music, and then there was a lot of people doing odd meter stuff. And I didn't write this at that time, but I always thought it'd be nice to have sort of an odd meter Celtic tune that goes into a big African groove, because you gotta love
Why
African
not?
music. Who doesn't? So this is a song called The Weasel. And then I guess we're done. We're gonna take maybe we'll see if there's any comments after this one. Say goodbye, and thanks everybody so much for joining us. And don't forget to donate to Project PAL. And don't forget to go to Fallen Tree Records and get our
the CD.
Yeah,
Get the CD.
the links both to donate to Project PAL and to get our CD are in the descriptions of the video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube.
And if there's any bookers out there, give us a shout. If we ever do a gig again. No, it's all going to be over. We see the end of the tunnel now, I think. I feel that way. I don't know if everybody else does.
Yeah, I do.
ending, eh?
Great show.
Great.
You guys are amazing. This felt like a celebratory end of COVID piece. So
Oh, nice.
what mesmerizing music. The song is so beautiful. Can't wait to see
Thank
you
you
guys.
for
Oh
listening.
my God, and thanks for the nice comments.
Yeah.
You making all those up, Henry?
Yeah, we hope to see as many of you as we can in person at future live gigs.
Yeah,
so
we-
thank
I
you
mean,
for
we
your
will
support.
have more than just More in Heights coming up. I think now that things are opening up again, we definitely hope to be on the road again. And can you imagine traveling?
Yeah.
I can't
wait
actually
to travel.
fathom.
Hmm.
Thanks very much, everybody. See you down the road.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks,
Henry.
Henry. Thanks, Paul.